Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate the introduction. Sixth graders, raise your hand so I know where the sixth graders are. Thank you very much, sixth graders. Not only am I the superintendent of schools, but I'm more formally known in that crowd as Tate's dad. So it's good to be here. Sometimes we have to be a little covert or secretive about surprises, and today is not an exception. We're here to celebrate and honor one South middle school teacher as being outstanding. Really, really, really outstanding. Students, are you thinking of somebody right now? I blew it already. Class management. Is this somebody you might be thinking about but not thinking out loud about? Colleagues, do you have any guesses quietly? Is this person on my team? Hold those thoughts and let me share a little insight with you. This person has been a teacher in Grand Forks Public Schools for a few years. This person has taught at the elementary and middle school level. This person has taught all the core subjects: science, social studies, math, reading, and language arts. This person has mastered the curriculum for all grade content areas and can seamlessly transition from one subject to another, often based on the needs and strengths of their team. Mr. Neal, am I getting some feedback here? This teacher accommodates all learners in their classroom with modifications and adapts to their learning level and style. This teacher makes concepts current and relevant to the lives of young people, all of you who are here today, all while keeping all of you engaged. This teacher encourages students to never give up no matter what cards they have been dealt. And one colleague said this: if this teacher can't reach a kid, nobody can. This teacher builds genuine, caring, long-lasting relationships with students, parents, and colleagues. Students know this teacher loves and accepts them as they are, while always keeping an eye out for where they're going. During parent-teacher conferences, good, here we go. Thank you for that. My hearing is going as well. During parent-teacher conferences, this teacher sees parents as people she can honestly communicate with. She speaks the truth lovingly about each student and still advocates for their child, no matter how imperfect the child, the family, or the system may be. Colleagues ache with laughter after collaborating with this teacher, but can also count on this person to ask tough questions, pull their weight, and get the job done. This teacher is selfless and goes above and beyond for students and colleagues. Tirelessly and consistently, this teacher provides snacks, clothes, and school resources, usually at this teacher's personal expense, to students and staff in need. During COVID, this teacher delivered materials to students who were quarantined and couldn't get to school for supplies. Just this past month, this person brought winter gear to a new coworker who was from the South and who never experienced winter before. The day before Thanksgiving, this person got word from a coworker that a student was sad because he would be home alone with his older brother over the holiday break. This teacher talked to that student and realized that they didn't have much food at their apartment while their mom was out of town. This teacher went to the store, loaded up on pizzas and other age-appropriate food for the student, and dropped it off the morning of Thanksgiving. Included also was cake mix and other ingredients because this teacher knew the students loved to bake. This teacher, displays acts of kindness and generosity time and time again, and year after year. This teacher is awesome because she is understanding and a great leader and a great guide to students and staff. She has been a team leader, participated on various district level committees, was on the teacher negotiation team, and has had many student teachers during her teaching career with Grand Forks Public Schools. She has an open door for any teacher teacher to visit her classroom. She sets new teachers up for success by checking on them often and shouldering extra responsibility to ensure they don't become overburdened. And let me finish with this before we announce who she is. Of all the positive traits exhibited on a daily basis of this year's Grand Forks Public Schools Teacher of the Year, the most admirable is her commitment to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. That attribute is not taught in any pre-service teacher prep program, yet it's an innate characteristic that sets apart our newest Teacher of the Year. Please help me celebrate 6th grade Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Nikki Pollard.
Not only is Mrs. Pullum our Teacher of the Year, she has a plaque that is for her to take home. Her name will be at the Mark Sanford Education Center for future years to come as the 2022-23 Teacher of the Year. And from the Grand Forks Foundation for Education, we have Amelia Hodgson.
Congratulations, Nikki. The foundation has made it part of our mission to support and elevate our educators, and you're one of the best. So we hope you accept this gift on behalf of the Grand Forks Foundation for Education.
It's all about Miss Pullum. So, you guys have been great listeners so far. A couple of words about Mrs. Pullum. So, I asked students, just tell me a little bit of Miss Pullum. Firm, great, fair, wonderful, caring, makes learning fun, loves reading and writing, just maybe a little too much, she said. And then finally, the last one I really liked, she doesn't let us get away with anything. Those are a couple of words, Miss Pullum. And then I have a little piece I'd like to read about Miss Pullum for myself. So, Mrs. Pullum was a champion for students. Her patience, passion, and care with students have been evident during her educational career. Relationships is one of her top priorities, and she devotes time to establishing, building, and maintaining those positive relationships with all of her students. Mrs. Pullum strives to make personal connections with her students on a daily basis and cares about how students are doing at school and outside of school. Mrs. Pullum has a way about her that builds students' confidence, yet holds all students to a very, very high standard. Mrs. Pullum is known as a leader amongst her colleagues. She is a go-to person when it comes to advice for students, curriculum, behavior, and really everything in between. I can personally speak to this because Mrs. Pullum had my son Josh way back in the day at Strader, 6th grade. And he still talks about Mrs. Pullum and how awesome his 6th grade year was. Anytime you ask him, what was your favorite year? Who's your favorite teacher? Oh, Mrs. Pullum, 6th grade. I asked him, why was it so awesome? And he said, Mrs. Pullum gave me confidence. And I thought about that for a while. And that really changed him. It gave him confidence. He also said she was very fun, welcoming, we learned a lot, and mostly I just knew that she cared about me. It's pretty cool. The bottom line is Mrs. Palm wants what's best for her students, and she is willing to do almost anything to get them to where they need to be. She is truly that teacher that impacts students and staff and families for a lifetime. Congratulations. I believe we have another speaker, and come on up.
Good afternoon. My name is Angie McLean, and I am a former Spartan student and a former Spartan staff member. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. But my claim to fame is that for the past 29 years, I have been the colleague and friend of the greatest teacher of all time. And I am here today to give you my top 10 reasons why Nikki Pullum is the GOAT. She loves this. She gave me this outfit. That's not on the list. Top 10 reasons why Mrs. Pullum is the GOAT. Number 10, she's a really good singer. And by a really good singer, I mean not at all a really good singer. I've heard her sing everything from Kiss to the 12 Days of Christmas. Not great. Number 9, nicknames. Raise your hand quietly if you have been called a name by Mrs. Pullum that is not on your birth certificate. Dr. Brenner, Mr. Neal, you can raise your hands too. Yeah, you're gonna have that name forever. Number 8, Pullumisms. Mrs. Pullum has plenty of catchphrases that make us all laugh and keep us in line. Some of my personal favorites are, figure it out. Dude, don't be dumb right now. Engage your prefrontal cortex. Whatever floats your boat, on it like a bonnet. And my personal favorite, the best revenge is to be happy. 20 years ago, she gave me that advice and it changed my life. And no, I don't need a Kleenex yet, Mr. Johnson. Pipe down. Number 7, she is honest, but kind. She will have the conversation that is difficult with parents, with colleagues, with students, and with her friends. Number 6, she's smart and she can teach anything. And she will often teach the thing that doesn't want to be taught by other people to make her team stronger. Number 5, she sees your hurts. And even if she can't fix them, which she often can, she will just bear witness to your hurts so that you know that you are not alone. Number 4, she sees your gifts. Even if your gift is something lame and dumb, like maybe you're double jointed, she will find a way to showcase that in front of your peers and help you find your gifts that will serve you for your whole life. Number 3, she is the toughest person in the room. And there are witnesses in this room that have seen her leg wrestle a man who's nearly 7 feet tall and outweighs her by 100 pounds. But even if she doesn't, I think she won. Did you win? The first time. Even if she doesn't need to use her feats of strength, she can give you the icy blue Pullum stare, and you'll pipe down. You'll stop. You'll stop. Number 2, she's hilarious. Joan Rivers has a quote that says, "Calm down, it's all funny." And Mrs. Pullum knows, calm down, it's all funny. She can make anything funny, and for her, everything's funny. And number 1, and this has been mentioned, she always, always, always sticks up for the underdog. And we are all underdogs in this life. So, dear friend, I brought you a present. This is for your classroom or your house. Because any room that you are in is your house. One last poemism. Dr. Ron.
Okay, next up we have an incredible video.